I, 35 male, was about 3 seconds away from proposing to Madison, 31, when she dropped the pregnancy bomb. We'd been together 18 months, living together for 6. Everything seemed perfect. She was sweet, caring, got along with my family. My mom kept dropping hints about grandkids. 2 weeks ago, Saturday morning, I'm making breakfast. She walks into the kitchen holding a pregnancy test. "Derek, I'm pregnant." The spatula dropped from my hand. Not because I was happy, because 3 months ago, I'd gotten some concerning test results during a routine physical. Low testosterone, fatigue issues. My doctor referred me to a urologist for further testing. Here's the thing. Madison was the one who recommended Dr. Brennan. Said her cousin had great results with him for similar issues. Even made my appointment for me. Insisted on this specific doctor. The diagnosis? Azoospermia. 0 sperm count. Completely infertile. Likely since birth due to a genetic condition. The chances of me fathering a child naturally? Literally impossible without medical intervention that I hadn't pursued yet. I'd been devastated, but hadn't told Madison yet. Was waiting for the right moment. Wanted to discuss our options together. IVF, adoption, whatever. Figure we had time. Standing there with her pregnancy test, my brain went into overdrive. "That's unexpected," I managed. She beamed. "I know we didn't plan it, but this is perfect timing. We can get married before I show too much." The eagerness in her voice. The way she was already planning our shotgun wedding. Something clicked. "Madison, I need to tell you something." "What?" "You're happy, right? This is our baby." I walked to my office, pulled out the medical folder I'd hidden in my desk. Came back and placed it on the kitchen counter. "I'm infertile, Madison. Completely sterile. Has been my whole life, according to these tests from Dr. Brennan. You know, the specialist you specifically recommended?" The color drained from her face. Not gradually. Instantly, like someone pulled a plug. That can't be right. Test could be wrong. 3 separate tests. 0 sperm count each time. It's impossible for me to father children without medical intervention. She grabbed the papers, scanning them frantically. Her hands were shaking. Maybe it's a miracle. These things happen. "Madison, whose baby is it?" Silence. Then tears. Then the anger. "How dare you? I've never cheated. This is your baby." Biologically impossible. Tests are wrong all the time. You're supposed to trust me. Support me. She stormed to our bedroom, slammed the door. I heard her on the phone, crying to someone. 20 minutes later, she came out with a suitcase. "I'm going to stay with my sister. When you come to your senses and apologize, call me." She left. I changed the locks that afternoon. Update 1, 3 days later. The entitlement circus started Monday morning. First, her sister Vanessa called. "You're a monster." Madison is devastated. Accusing her of cheating when she's carrying your child? Man up and take responsibility. "Vanessa, I'm medically sterile. It's impossible. She said the doctor told you it was just low sperm count. You can still have kids with low count." Interesting. So Madison was already spinning the story. "No, Vanessa. 0 count. Not low. 0. Would you like to see the medical reports?" She hung up. Then came Madison's mom, Diane. This woman showed up at my door at 7 a.m. Tuesday, pounding like the police. "Derek, open up. We need to talk about my grandchild." I opened the door, but didn't let her in. "Your daughter cheated, Diane. That's not my baby. She would never. You probably had the procedure reversed or something. Plenty of men with vasectomies have babies. I never had a vasectomy. I have a genetic condition. Born infertile." Then explained the pregnancy. Asked Madison who she's been sleeping with. She actually tried to push past me into the apartment. I blocked her. "This is my grandchild we're talking about. You will marry my daughter." "No, I won't. Please leave. I'll sue you for child support." Emotional distress. Abandonment. Good luck with that. The DNA test will be interesting. But here's where it got really fun. That afternoon, I got a text from my buddy Garrett, who works at the same accounting firm as Madison. "Garrett, dude, need to tell you something. Saw Madison's car at the Marriott downtown like 5 times last month. During lunch. Same days she said she had client meetings. Me? Let me guess. Trevor's car too." Trevor was her work husband. The guy she always talked about, said was just a friend and so helpful with projects. Garrett, bingo. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Like clockwork. I asked Garrett to send me any photos if he had them. He had one. Madison's distinctive pink steering wheel cover in the Marriott parking garage, right next to Trevor's blue Mazda with his veteran plates. Time stamped. 12:47 p.m., 2 weeks ago. A Thursday. I checked my calendar. She'd texted me that day, saying she was in back-to-back meetings until 3. Update 2, 1 week later. Madison tried a new strategy. She showed up Wednesday night with Trevor. Yes, Trevor. The ball's on these people. I saw them on my Ring camera and talked through the speaker. Can I help you? Madison. Derek, we need to talk like adults. Trevor's here as a mediator. I actually laughed. The guy you've been meeting at hotels wants to mediate. Trevor's face went red. What's that supposed to mean? Marriott downtown. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Your car and hers. Got photos if you need your memory refreshed. Madison grabbed Trevor's arm. He's lying. He's trying to turn you against me. Trevor looked confused. Madison, what's he talking about? Oh, this was beautiful. Trevor didn't know about the pregnancy. Trevor, did Madison tell you she's pregnant? His head snapped toward her. You're what? It's not. I was going to tell you. Is it mine? His voice cracked. Madison started crying. I don't know. Maybe? Derek says he's infertile, but that's probably not true. And you told me you were on birth control. I am. Sometimes it fails. They started arguing right there on my doorstep. Trevor was freaking out about his wife finding out. Madison was sobbing about being abandoned by everyone. I just closed the app and made dinner. Thursday morning, got a call from an unknown number. It was Trevor's wife, Brooke. Is this Derek? Yeah. Trevor told me everything. I'm filing for divorce. I need those photos from my lawyer. I'll email them now. Madison's been calling me all morning, crying about how I'm ruining her life by taking Trevor away. The audacity of that woman. Sorry you're dealing with this, Brooke. 30 seconds of silence. Then, did you know Trevor had a vasectomy 2 years ago? My jaw dropped. You what? We didn't want kids. He got snipped. So whoever's baby that is, it's not his either. Update 3, 2 weeks later. The mystery baby daddy revealed himself in the most spectacular way possible. Madison had been radio silent for a few days after the Trevor revelation. Then yesterday, I got a Facebook message from a guy named Antonio, Madison's personal trainer. Antonio, bro, need to talk to you about Madison. She's saying you abandoned her while pregnant. But she told me the baby was mine, and I've been giving her money for prenatal stuff. Now Trevor's wife is saying Trevor can't be the dad. WTF is going on? I called him immediately. Antonio, let me get this straight. Madison told you the baby was yours. Yeah, man. Said you guys were separated, and she didn't want to complicate the divorce. I've given her like $3,000 already for baby stuff and vitamins and whatnot. We were never separated. And I'm infertile. When did you two? About 2 months ago. She said she was single, going through a rough patch. We hooked up maybe 4 or 5 times. Then she ghosts me, then hits me up about being pregnant. Join the club. Trevor thought it was his too. Trevor? From her work? Yep. Bro, she told me Trevor was gay. This woman. This absolute piece of work. I gave Antonio the full rundown. He was pissed about the money, but even more pissed about being lied to. I'm engaged, man. My fiancé doesn't know about any of this. Madison said if I didn't help with the baby expenses, she'd tell everyone I forced myself on her. She what? Yeah. Said nobody would believe a personal trainer didn't take advantage. Said she'd ruin my career. You saved those messages? Every single one. Update 4. 3 days later. Madison's house of cards completely collapsed yesterday. Antonio's fiancé found out. Madison actually called her, tried to extort more money. Instead of breaking up with Antonio, this absolute queen of a woman named Jasmine showed up at Madison's sister's apartment with printed screenshots of everything. Vanessa called me, hysterical. Derek, Jasmine is here. She's saying Madison is extorting Antonio. This can't be true. It's true. Madison's been playing everyone. But she's pregnant. She needs support. Then she should figure out who the actual father is and get it from him. Plot twist. Remember how Madison recommended Dr. Brennan specifically? Turns out she knew about my infertility before I did. Vanessa let it slip during her panicked rambling. She said the test results must be wrong. She saw them weeks before you did when she accessed your patient portal. She said she was checking for your appointment time. She what? She logged into my patient portal. She had my passwords because I stupidly used the same one for Netflix and saw my results 2 weeks before my follow-up appointment. Instead of talking to me about it, she went on a pregnancy trapping spree with multiple guys, figuring she could pin it on whoever had the most money or seemed most likely to marry her. But she didn't count on Trevor having a vasectomy, Antonio keeping her extortion texts, me actually getting my test results and keeping them. The grand finale? Madison wasn't even pregnant. Antonio's fiancé demanded she take a pregnancy test in front of her and Vanessa. Madison refused, claimed it was degrading. Jasmine pulled out 3 tests she'd brought. Prove it, or I'm calling the police about the extortion. Madison broke down and admitted she'd been faking the whole thing. The positive test, she showed me, bought it online from someone who was actually pregnant. Her plan was to baby trap one of us, then either have a convenient miscarriage after getting married or actually get pregnant quickly to cover the timeline. Vanessa kicked her out on the spot. Update 5, 1 week later. The aftermath has been thorough. Madison tried damage control by claiming she was having a mental health crisis and needed understanding, not judgment. Posted this whole sob story on social media about how society puts too much pressure on women to have children. Nobody bought it. Trevor's divorce is proceeding. Brooke sent me a thank you card for accidentally saving her from 20 more years with that cheater. Antonio and Jasmine are somehow stronger than ever. She's pregnant, actually pregnant, and they're using the $3,000 Madison scam from him for baby furniture. Poetic justice. Madison's work found out about everything when Trevor filed an HR complaint about her creating a hostile work environment. Turns out she'd also been claiming overtime for those hotel client meetings. Fired for fraud. Her mom, Diane, tried one last time to guilt-trip me. Called me saying Madison was suicidal and it was my fault for exposing her mistakes. Diane, your daughter accessed my medical records without permission, faked a pregnancy, tried to commit paternity fraud with 3 different men, and attempted extortion. These aren't mistakes. They're crimes. She was just confused. She loves you. She loved my bank account and the lifestyle I provided. That's not the same thing. You're heartless. She could hurt herself, then get her professional help. I'm not responsible for her anymore. Block her number after that. The best part? Remember that engagement ring I'd been planning to buy? Use that money for something better. A consultation with a fertility specialist about my options for the future. Turns out there are some new treatments that might help. Even if they don't work, adoption's always on the table for when I meet someone who actually deserves to build a family with me. Madison's last attempt to contact was an email saying she was suing me for defamation because I told people about the fake pregnancy. My lawyer, yeah, I got one, laughed and said her extortion of Antonio and fraud at work meant she should be more worried about criminal charges than civil suits. I forwarded that email to Antonio's lawyer, who was building a case for extortion charges. Haven't heard from Madison since. Final update. It's been 2 months since everything went down. Some final notes. Madison pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor extortion charge to avoid trial. Got probation and community service. Had to pay Antonio back the $3,000 in restitution. She moved back to her parents' house in another state. According to social media, I don't follow her, but people send me screenshots. She's now a life coach focusing on authenticity and personal growth. The jokes write themselves. Diane still sends me nasty messages from new Facebook accounts about once a week. I just document and delete. My lawyer says it's enough for a restraining order if needed, but honestly, she's more pathetic than threatening. The wild part? Found out from Garrett that Madison had pulled similar stunts before. Her ex before me supposedly abandoned her during a cancer scare that turned out to be fictional. The ex before that was accused of abuse when he tried to break up with her. Charges dropped when her story fell apart. I dodged a nuclear missile, not just a bullet. As for me, I'm good. Started therapy to deal with trust issues because, yeah, this messed with my head. The fertility treatments are showing some promise. Won't know for sure for a few more months, but the doctor's optimistic. Met someone at my buddy's barbecue last week. Her name's Elena. She's a veterinarian, and when I made a joke about trust issues, she laughed and said, "My ex pretended his mom died to avoid meeting my parents, so I feel you." We're getting coffee Thursday. I'm telling her about my fertility issues on date 1. Not making that mistake again. To everyone who says I went too far or should have been more compassionate, Madison literally tried to steal my future. She knew I was infertile, and instead of having an honest conversation about our options, she tried to baby trap me with another man's child. Actually, multiple men. Then tried to destroy my reputation when caught. She got exactly what she deserved. Nothing more, nothing less. Thanks for reading this insanity. Still, can't believe this was my life for a minute there. Edit. Since some asked, yes, I'm keeping all the documentation. Yes, I check my credit reports monthly now. And yes, I changed all my passwords and used 2-factor authentication on everything. Learned that lesson the hard way.